Life is an interesting journey. You never know where it'll take you. Peaks and valleys, twists and turns. You can get the surprise of your life. Sometimes on the way to where you're going, you might think, this is the worst time of my life. But you know what? At the end of the road, through all the adversity, if you can get where you want it to be, you remember whatever don't kill you make you stronger. And all of the adversity was worth it. On your way to the top, you'll do anything.
The world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades about the workplace being this secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off. We've been laid off. We've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong that on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced, unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans, industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea. So this idea of job security in information age is so obsolete, but it's still taught inside our school system. And that's where the problem starts. There's no financial education in the school system, and people are still trained to be employees who work for that paycheck. This is a chart on the middle class. What's happening in the middle class, those that went to school, their incomes have been coming down for years. And parents still say to the kids, go to school, get a job. Now what happens to all those middle class people who are dropping off the ends of the chart? Well, they become what's called working poor. And this is what happens to working poor. But they say poverty is ending. Well, poverty may be ending, but working poverty is going up. And this is food stamp usage. So food stamp usage in America is going through the roof right now because people cannot earn what they call a living wage.
If you're not working for yourself, then it's going to be a pretty hard road for a lot of people.
Today, if you're going to control your future, the 40-40 plan is gone, where you can graduate from college and get a job and work for 40 hours a week for 40 years. That day is gone.
So some of these charts actually tell you what's going on. And this is a really interesting one. You know, people are going back to school because if I go back to school, I'll get a nice job. But this is what's happening to, it's called Sallie Mae, which is the student loan guys. Student loan is going through the roof. It's now over $1 trillion, and student loan debt is worse than credit card debt. So when people stopped using credit card, the government got people into student loan debt. And the problem with student loan debt is you can never be forgiven. See, with credit card debt, you can declare bankruptcy and then all's forgiven. But student loan debt, you can declare bankruptcy, you still owe it. It's the worst of all debt.
I feel sorry for the person who dreads going to work, who is sick to their stomach on Monday morning, who hates their alarm clock, who gets a little glimmer of hope on a Wednesday because it's hump day and says, thank God it's Friday. And they live for those 2 days a week where they get to be themselves and they don't have to be around people they don't like, and they don't have to play the political game in the office, and they don't have to live this half life. The person that works 50 weeks a year just to be able to have the 2 weeks for vacation. And you know what happens to most of them nowadays? They don't have a vacation. They have a staycation. They have time off of work, but they don't get to go where they want to go. In my opinion, and in the opinion of many, many experts, the answer is to become an entrepreneur, to become your own boss.
The spirit of the entrepreneur is to be a risk taker and to be resourceful and unstoppable and to have a vision of yourself beyond where you are and not willing to settle for life as it is.
You think about the great entrepreneurs, they're visionary, they have heart, they're willing to do today what others won't so they can do tomorrow what others can't.
Personally, I don't think of the new economy, the old economy. I create my own economy. The entrepreneur's in control. I decide what the economy is going to be like.
It's time to look in the mirror and say, it's not the economy, it's my economy.
In the world of entrepreneurship, there are no limits. You can make as much as you want, depending on how much you want to work and how smart you are and how great a team you put together.
Anyone could be anything. When people want to give up their freedom and become effectively a modern-day slave, told shut up and be here every morning at 7:30, leave at 5:30, and do what I tell you.
If people decide to become an entrepreneur and work for themselves, they have some traditional options, but they're riskier than you might think.
Any kind of a retail business, retail build-outs, is extremely expensive. Even just these small little yogurt stores where they're putting little yogurt machines and you get all the different flavors, you're spending $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to open a yogurt shop.
I would love to buy a Dunkin' Donuts, but it's $500,000 or so to start. I don't quite have that just-in-case money.
A business is a team sport. Like, I have to have accountants, I have to have engineers, I have to have system designers, I have to have sales, marketing, I have to have accounting, I have to have mission statements, I have to have legal and all that. The average Joe Schmo, even me, I go out there, I don't have the skills to put a business together.
I think the bottom line for the 4 traditional options is they take money, sometimes a lot of it. They take expertise, and they take time. All of that adds up to just too much risk for most people. What if there was a way that you had all the proven aspects, the comfort aspects, and you could still control your own life? What if there was both? In other words, you didn't have to create everything from scratch. You didn't have to be a super leader. All you had to do, what if there was a proven product already? You didn't have to create the product. And there's a proven system already, proven training already. Everything except an employer. That was the only thing that you didn't have. Do you think more people would be open to working for themselves in that environment?
When I was started off 50 years ago as an entrepreneur, the word entrepreneur didn't exist. People were told to become lawyers, to become doctors. The idea of rolling up your sleeves and creating things was seen as a slightly dirty word. The truth is that what entrepreneurs are doing is making the world a better place. I mean, you're only going to succeed as an entrepreneur if you create something that makes people's lives better. You know, I'm biased, but I think being an entrepreneur is a pretty damn good thing.
Now is the most amazing time to start a business. Firstly, because technology has allowed anyone and everyone who has an idea to put that idea out there. You can honestly start and grow an incredible business right from your kitchen table.
There's always opportunities out there. There's always ways of improving things. My favorite words, screw it, just do it, apply to anyone thinking of starting a business.
In our search for a better way to make a living, we've come to the conclusion that becoming an entrepreneur is actually safer than being an employee. And through our look at the entrepreneurial options, one particular path kept coming up from expert after expert. And I think most people will find it surprising because it's certainly a non-traditional business model. That model is for people to start their own business and become an entrepreneur through the creation of a network marketing business. Some people call it direct selling, because the product is being sold directly from the manufacturer to the end consumer, cutting out the middlemen. Other people call it multi-level marketing, or MLM, because there are multiple levels of commissions paid. The most common term today is network marketing, because network marketing best describes using a large group of independent distributors, independent entrepreneurs, to move a product or service more efficiently.
So my friend here, Donald Trump, and I, we always write about the network marketing industry. And the reason we support the network marketing industry is because it really is a business school for entrepreneurs. Because most people come out of school looking for a paycheck. Oh, that's terrible.
I went to network marketing like that. I think if it didn't exist, we should invent it. It is that good.
I think direct selling is a great way to do business today. It's very easy to get into that industry, and you can be self-employed, be in effect an entrepreneur.
When we see multi-billionaires adding network marketing companies to their portfolio of companies, that would be a clue. When we see people who are very famous authors and very famous business people endorsing the industry, that would be a clue.
These network marketing companies aren't $50 million companies. They're billions and billions of dollars. They lead the stock market. They're major companies.
When we're going to get it? You know, and you're going to school to work for a paycheck. But if you want to be rich, be an entrepreneur. And network marketing gives you the spirit to be an entrepreneur.
A traditional company will spend up to 50% of their total revenue on marketing. Network marketing companies use a different approach. Instead of having all that extensive marketing expense, they utilize a network of independent distributors to do the marketing for them. Now, why do they do this? First, because word-of-mouth advertising is so much more effective today than traditional media advertising. Second, some products need to be explained or demonstrated, and an independent salesperson can do that more effectively than an ad campaign. Third, it's completely efficient. The company only pays for the marketing of their product if a sale happens and not before. Imagine if Amazon allowed you to become an independent distributor and paid out 40% of its revenue to that distributor group. All you had to do as a distributor was recommend a product, and if a person bought it on Amazon, Amazon would take care of all the logistics, and you'd get paid for bringing the customer. Now imagine you got paid for every purchase that customer made for the rest of their lives. Well, Amazon doesn't offer this option, but network marketing companies do. These companies allow people to become independent distributors for extremely low cost and with no minimum time or sales quota. Essentially, they own their own business and can provide as much or as little sales as they choose. In other words, the distributor gets all the benefits of traditional business ownership without the risk.
The advantage of network marketing is the ease of entry, the low risk, and the low startup cost, because almost everything else has very high risk.
You can get in for a minimal investment. You're buying into a system that's already been proven, products or services that have been proven to work.
The keys to network marketing is providing an opportunity for the masses to get involved, providing an opportunity for the average person who doesn't have the resources to start their own business.
All of this so far is fairly straightforward, but network marketing offers another benefit, and it's this benefit that makes it so interesting for entrepreneurs. Network marketing allows a distributor to build their own network of other distributors and then compensates them on the sales created by that entire group.
Direct selling is, at its base, very simple. It's the sale of a product or service to an individual on a face-to-face, one-on-one basis, just the way we're talking right now. But there's an important element as well, and that's the offering in conjunction with that sale of product, the offering of an opportunity for someone to make something of themselves.
No matter what your social status is, no matter what language that you speak, I mean, look how many unbelievable people are becoming successful to speak every kind of language out there. What an awesome gift to give the world.
People who are like, oh, this is weird, I'm building a sales team, or what do you think you do at a regular company? How do you think a regular company works?
Network marketing has the potential to save the United States and the world because it's going to teach people not to be employees, but to be entrepreneurs.
According to the Direct Selling Association, if you add up all the network marketing companies around the world, they combine to do over $178 billion a year in retail sales. To give you an idea of how big that really is, the NFL, the National Football League, does approximately $9 billion a year. The music industry does a little more than $16 billion a year, and the movie industry does about $80 billion a year. Using a conservative average, network marketing companies pay their distributors about 40% of that $178 billion in the form of commissions, which adds up to more than $71 billion a year. That's almost $6 billion a month. It's almost $200 million in commissions every single day. So it's certainly working, and people are making serious money in network marketing. Some people think only the people at the top make money. Well, let's take a look at that as well. In the network marketing profession, there are roughly 500 people in the world who earn over $1 million a year. If you round that number up to $2 million a year, that adds up to about $1 billion a year. That takes the $71 billion paid out each year down to $70 billion. So where does the rest of the money go? The vast majority goes to part-time people making anywhere from a few $100s a month to many thousands of dollars a month. It goes to people who choose to make it a full-time career move and earning even more than that. Every day, people are using the money they earn through network marketing to pay off debt, have more fun, and improve the quality of their lives.
Everyone I know in network marketing has been doing that since the 50s. They go to work when they want to go to work. They stop working when they want to take time with their children to have a leisurely breakfast and discuss issues and drive them to school. They go back to work when they get home, wherever they're working out of.
The biggest thing that I've seen is people that have become much happier in their life.
MLM has probably made more millionaires of more people in more countries, and I've spoken to them in 67 countries, than any other single form of business, starting from nothing.
If they have a choice between working a job for the next 10 years or working a network marketing business for the next 10 years, the result of working the network marketing business will be better.
A lot of people within the industry go on and make this a career and do extremely well at it.
Network marketing has been nothing but good for everyone I know that's been involved with it because they did it seriously and they played full out and they've been very successful. It's been a constant barrage of success stories and people showing off stuff that they got as a result of it.
How many people are involved? Approximately 16 million Americans and 96 million people around the world are currently participating in network marketing. And in a recent poll, 82% of those people report a good, very good, or excellent experience with network marketing. So people are happy. So I've taken a look at the network marketing profession and really tried to understand why so many people are confused as to the validity of this as a business. One is this pyramid shape. People get really messed up with this pyramid. Oh, it's one of those pyramid things.
So I just think there are a lot of haters out there who really don't understand the industry and say, oh, it's a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a pyramid.
Well, corporate America is a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? It goes like this. You have thousands of MBAs, let's say working for Ford or General Motors or Coca-Cola. If all these MBAs are all trying to get to here, that's a pyramid. Only one guy's going to make it. Every 10 years, one's going to make it. Whereas you look at network marketing, it's like this. So you're here, and your job is to develop other CEOs coming up behind you. So it's an inverse pyramid.
In network marketing, it's a very simple concept. If you sell product, you get paid. It is paid based on production. There is no first mover's advantage. There is no investment component where the more somebody spends, the more they're entitled to make. So the two are polar opposites of each other.
It doesn't matter what shape the company is or the compensation plan is shaped, whether it's a circle or a pyramid or a triangle or a trapezoid, it doesn't matter. If compensation is coming primarily from recruitment, then you've got a problem. On the other hand, if an operation is basing their compensation to participants on the basis of sales, even when those sales are generated by people you've recruited, well, then you're a perfectly legitimate enterprise. That's the legal test, it's the practical test.
Another issue that's been true in the past that is no longer true now is people used to be in network marketing loaded up with products that they couldn't sell and they ended up a loser. They ended up with a bunch of product in their garage, they ended up with a bunch of products sitting in their kitchen shelves or whatever, and they thought they could sell it and then they weren't willing to or able to sell it and they ended up with a bunch of stuff and they were bitter about it.
There was this thing called front loading where you had to buy if you bought $25,000 worth of product, you got better commissions and all this. Today, it's almost all done by computer. It's direct mail, comes from a warehouse somewhere else. You don't have to have all this inventory. You don't have to stock up. It's a paperless world now. Most of it's done online. You have a back office. It really works. And I mean, the technology has changed everything.
third issue is people start talking about 99% of people in network marketing don't make any money. Well, we've talked about that over the course of this journey together. Almost $200 million a day is being paid out to network marketing distributors around the world.
The naysayers, the people who say that it doesn't work, are usually the ones who just don't know how to make it work for themselves. And so they're giving you an opinion, and I tell people, don't confuse people's opinions with expertise, because opinions are free. And don't confuse sincerity with the truth, because people could be sincerely wrong.
You know, one of the messages that I try to deliver most forcefully to companies as well as salespeople in direct selling is that you don't have to overpromise.
The reality is in network marketing, there's a lot of hard work involved. There's a lot of effort. You're going to have to develop yourself. It's a business like anything else. It's going to take some time, but in my opinion, it's better.
It's light years better for people starting today than it was even 5 years ago.
I think it's more widely accepted now, and people understand it is a business. It is being an entrepreneur. It is being a business owner.
Our belief system is based upon our evaluation of something, and frequently if we reevaluate a situation, our belief about that situation will change.
The industry has changed and it's grown up. It's totally transformed.
You've got young people today that have grown up with social media, and they understand networks. They understand how people are connected through technology, and they understand how money flows through those networks. So when they see network marketing, they don't see it the way their parents saw it.
And we've all learned, the larger industry that you represent, has all learned from those mistakes and flaws and errors that have happened early on. Early algorithms didn't work the right way. That's all fixed.
It's like when they design a computer program, they design the program, then they run it, and then they go back through and they debug it. The MLM industry has been debugged.
This is the day of being virtual, being able to run a business from your mobile phone. I mean, it's incredible.
Companies are getting smarter. They're implementing more consumer protections. They're implementing more compliance training. They're doing more with respect to product research.
If you do get involved and you make purchases of inventory, even on a voluntary basis, if you decide that this business is not for you, you can leave and have that inventory repurchased by the company. There's no other business that offers that kind of protection on a voluntary, self-regulatory basis.
If you decide to look further into a network marketing business in order to generate more cash flow for your family, I would recommend reviewing the following 4 elements. First is the product or service. And on the product or service, I would ask 5 important questions. 1, do you like it? Is it something you would feel comfortable sharing with others? 2, is there a recognized need in the marketplace? It's hard to create a need if one isn't naturally there. 3rd, does the product meet that need? Does it solve a legitimate problem for consumers? And 4th, is it priced to sell? Can it compete in the marketplace? And 5th, is it priced for profit? Is there enough margin for the company and the distributor to be able to generate income for the long term? If you can answer the questions on the product to your satisfaction, the next element to consider is the company itself. Is it well run? Do you believe in the founders or the management team? Do you feel they have what it takes to go all the way? See, it doesn't matter how good the product is if the management can't take care of the company. Good management can change with the times. They can handle adversity. They can make good decisions. Make sure you choose a company that can serve you for a long time. The third element to consider is the compensation plan. And with that, there are 3 important things to look at. First, a brand new person needs to be able to generate some money fairly quickly. It may be an obvious reason, but you can probably imagine the ripple effect of a distributor getting involved and having even a small victory fast. That can only help with the overall success of the organization. Second, a person should be able to develop a moderate part-time income in a reasonable period of time. As they develop their network and as their sales grow, they should be able to enjoy more benefits. And third, for the people who are really serious, for those who decide to really go pro in the network marketing profession, there should be the possibility to make a serious full-time income if they work hard and are committed to developing their skills. If you're comfortable with the product, the company, and the compensation plan, the last thing you should look at is the support that will be made available to you. Does the company have a website? Does it have a solid online reporting tool? Do they have comprehensive training available? Do they host events to help you build your business? If you decide to do this, what kind of a support system can you plug into? Choosing a network marketing company is a personal decision, but evaluating the 4 elements of product, company, compensation plan, and support is a great place to start.
You want to find out how concerned are they about my education, my training, and my development? Is there a space for me to grow? Most important question.
Learn everything that you can about the product. Make sure it's something that you believe in, and learn everything you can about the industry and work that system.
You have to be very passionate about whatever that company is doing.
I would get involved. You can always test drive anything, the product, the service, the community, and then lean into it a bit. If it feels good, then lean into it a lot.